fiberglassing the back of the console where the electronics go.
The inside? The back?
That's where the electronics are going to go.
Yeah, the inside.
Yes, the inside. Came out pretty good. The whole thing's coming out pretty good, actually.
Too old for this.
What's going on, everybody? All right. Little chicken. Back at the boat. So there's been a lot of updates since the gas tank video. Lots of things going on. The console's still not done. It's currently over there in like the end of the video. You'll see in this video here, you'll see a lot of the console going together, sanding and things like that. And then you're gonna see some gas tank stuff, putting the gas tanks in, foaming them in, and then you're gonna see a lot of the floor work and the rough-in of the fiberglass and the boxes and everything like that. So it's kind of how this video is gonna roll. We're in the steady progression of it, so this is video 3 of probably 8 or 9. We have a lot to go on still. Currently, at the time taping of this, we just got everything else put in there. So we're rocking and rolling. And I think that this is going to be a multi-part, multi-series piece, this particular assembly piece, because you got the fish boxes, you've got the tanks, you've got the gel coat, you've got the floor, you've got the hatches, you've got the molding, and the pitch wells, and the lights, and the rigging, and on and on and on and on. So in this particular video, we're going to cover the console, putting the tanks in, and probably putting the fish boxes in. Those 3 things will probably go into this video, and then in the future videos, we'll do a little bit more. So we're going to get started, and go ahead and watch, like, subscribe, share with your buddies and your friends if you like what we're doing. Also going to try, and you know what, I think this video will give away a shirt, a hat, and a sweatshirt. It's coming off of the cold season, so I'm sure you get a few more days out of it. So we'll give it 10 days now from this Sunday, when I'll upload this. We'll give it to the next video, which is the following Sunday. So 7 days. Like, subscribe. If you like, subscribe, and give a comment, then I will put it into that little genie calculator, and we'll give it away. So go ahead and watch it, and we'll go from there.
Can't use it. How much did you take from here? You use it all the cloud?
It's not going in the cloud. So I made these corners. See how they came out. Ooh, it came out good. Bam. Another corner. In a minute what I did. Of course. taped it all off so it wouldn't stick. Made ourselves little radiuses out of tubing, and we'll make the front. Currently mixing up this Evercoat polyester thing. It is going to end up cleaning up these deep gouges in this front and right here. There's a gouge like right in here. So all of this is going to be cleaned up with the glazing putty. And I'm probably going to fair this in a little bit. So once that's done, that stuff is sanded. We are going to attempt to shoot it with some. Well, what we're gonna actually do is we're gonna do all this white piece here, and we're gonna put gel coat on it and everything that's flat. So like this stuff here is flat and all this other stuff. So we're gonna go ahead and make that. Then we're gonna get that gel nice and thick on this center strip here, and on this stuff, giving us our first coat. Once we get the first coat all over the whole thing, real thick, we use a thing called gel coat gauge, which will give us the mils. Never seen one. This is one that U.S. Composites sells. The same people that do the dump gun. So basically, how that works is you just put the gel on. There we go. Put the gel on, and then you put this so you get low. And I'll show you guys when I do it before. But you can kind of see the mils on there, and then you can see how it's stepped. That once it gets wet or gel on it, that will tell you how thick it is. We are going to try to put a thick coat, probably 10 to 15 on there, maybe 20, because when we sand this thing, I want to sand it once and done, and then fix the imperfections. The only thing I'm really worried about is back here. This doesn't look, I can already tell this is going to be a soft spot here when they try to build that up. We may not gel this piece. There's a flex in it right here. I fixed it up here, so I'm going to have to cut another hole right here like I did before. Fill this with resin to get it stiffened. And then I want these radiuses to be built up like the other one. So, don't know what I'm going to do with this. I might flip it over when I sand the inside, because we're going to finish the inside of the console as well. Get it sanded, my popsicle sticks cleaned up, and some of that goo cleaned up there, but just get it sanded and prepped, because once I finish the inside and put the electronics and all the wiring on, it's gonna look great, and I want it to really stand out and be like a finished product versus this. It had the carpeting on there before, so may throw a few and that's not the video. May throw a few stiffeners in right here. This is pretty stiff, but I don't know. We're definitely probably gonna stiffen things up. This is stiff. This air bubble here probably needs to be cut out, but I'm not really worried about any of this. This is actually very solid. Once I glass it to the boat, we'll be pretty good, I think. There's tons of glass on it, tons of 1708. Even though there's air bubbles, it's all here pretty good. We had some bad layups, some old glass that we started using, which I wanted to get used on the console versus the boat anyway, so. It came out very good, I think, actually. Like, I'm pretty happy with the smorgasbord of different pieces that I've put together and that we've put together, and actually made a console that's much different in the way it is. So I'm super excited to get it all put together and last. So with that, I'm going to mix this putty up, and we'll go from there. So you guys can kind of see it. This fairing compound is fantastical. I mean, it has built all this up already. You can see where the big spatula misses. And what I'll do is I'll get some more fairing compound and put it in along. What I'll do is I'll bring it this way along that, come down, and then I'll be able to make these fillets, which is what this thing is. So you can kind of see how it built it up nice or there are big ruts in here. We'll get this done, and then we'll get it going. See how easy this stuff kicks. I'm gonna fill this side because you can kind of see the divot, and as you said, it's not perfectly round. So around that, I'm gonna round this corner. At the same time, if you look down, focus me, there we go. You can see the dip right here, and another one right here. The other stuff, it looks like I filled in really nice. This came in good, but you can see there's a flat spot here, which I probably could shave this down and get it to where I want it. But you can kind of see, better from this angle, you kind of see the flat spot right here. So I'm gonna build that up a little bit more around that corner because you can kind of feel it. And then sand all this stuff smooth. Not smooth, but with 380-ish. Get away from the 36, 40s. And then we are going to paint some coat on it. Excited. There she is. It's time to get to work. What'd you measure?
2 cups.
2 cups of what?
Of the part B.
So you
We
got
were videoing.
you got 2 things of part B and put them together thinking they were part A and part B?
Maybe.
All right, so here's what we got going on now. Today, I have patched the tank. I patched this tank right here, and where my son dropped it. So we've gotten pretty far. The main goal today was to, because it's the only day that the sun's out. It's probably gonna rain tomorrow, but the goal today was to get the foam in. And we've actually done that. So I think I'm almost there. It's all got to be about that high right there. which it will be hopefully here when this expands a little bit more. I might have to do one more cup just to get it all the way up to the top. What we've done, or what I've done, is I installed the drain. So this right here, is it right here, is the drain. And that is going to be for the box that goes over these right here. So we'll get that stuff in there. Today, before I leave, it's only whatever time it is, but it's winter time. So before I leave today, I definitely want to get the glass down. I'd love to get this thing kicking for tomorrow, to where, next stage on this side of the boat is nothing but boxes, fish boxes, and then floor pieces. So that would be a phenomenal thing if we get that done. But it all goes down to getting the foam in today and then getting these pieces of glass laid on there. And then we'll move on to the little stuff. This is the time-consuming, everything's time-consuming, that stupid thing, but this is pretty time-consuming to the point where I have to get the stuff just put in there and let it dry, and then kick it, and then dry it, and then build upon. So it's going to be built in layers. We're just gonna go from there. I'm doing one side of the boat, so I mess one thing up one side, and I can correct it on the other side. That way I don't to correct twice, just correct once. But I think that we got a good solid plan here today, and it's gonna work out. So stay tuned, like, subscribe, all that other good stuff, and we're rocking and rolling. Here's what we got today. We have the second tank 90% foamed in. I'm using the foam buckets to keep down the things over there. We got the stringer system for the raised deck in here. I'm pretty much got this side figured out, so it's gonna go in first. I need to order the through hole for this piece, get it on the way so I can get the flanges cut out and the Kusa put in. But I pretty much have these stringers put in. I did a huge layup on this side of the boat, all the way down that stringer. It's really hard to do these big layups by yourself, so I've got that one put in, that one put in, that one put in, and all those ones put in, tabbed in. So as soon as they all harden and everything works out, it's not raining and I can move this tarp, we'll be able to do the rest of the glass work, because the big layups with 900 millimeters or 900 mils of resin just kill you under this tarp. So the face is burning, I got to get out. So yeah, that's pretty much where we're at. We have gallons of resin left to do the floor. I'm going to add one more set of stringers here and here. They go all the way across, and then that should take care of everything from there. I may add one stringer right here and right here with the bulkhead. So I'm gonna add a bulkhead, bulkhead here, and maybe a stringer here and here, dividing that into two hatches, which I'll have access to via another recessed thing. So we'll see. I got a lot more to do. It's all evolving as I go through. Like my buddy Joe says, definitely not gonna have this thing done by February. So just rolling along. We'll see how it goes. Thank everyone for watching and subscribing, and we get to where we can run this thing and take people out. So, until the next time, which will be tomorrow. Signing off. So here I went ahead and drew that hatch out that I put over there. I'm going to trim up. So that one, I went and drew it out. And here's kind of how I'm thinking I'm going to do this. So I've marked this panel as the back port side. So the front of the panel is going to be here. This is the top port side. The measurement from the hatch to the center of the boat, or from the hatch to the side of the boat, is going to be 15.5. So the hatch is going to be sitting more to the center of the boat. From that side, it's 10.5 inches. I didn't center it because I wanted it more to the side. So when you walk around, this is open and flat. Gutters here, which I probably am eliminating the gutter, but I don't remember if I'm going to do that or not, because then I have to cut this out and make a gutter going all the way back to the back of the boat. What I think I want is for the hatch to sit flush with the floor, so it runs out the back, or just make its own little gutter there, and I'll glass it in the bottom, and that's where it'll go. And then the hatches will drain under the floor type deal. Don't know how that's going to work. And then backboard top. So 10.5 inches from the center of the boat, 10.5 inches from the back of the boat, or from the side, 15.5 inches from the center console. So the panel, as the boat sits over there, the panel's actually backwards. It's going to turn this way. So we'll see how it works out. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to cut this around this inner edge. So this here is the width of the gutter. And I'm going to go to the center edge here, cut this out. This is the hatch piece. So I'll make the new hatch out of that after I tear apart the old one and get the old wood out, depending on if it's composite or not. One of them is rotted and it's rotting, so I know it's gonna have to be replaced. So let me get to cutting, and hopefully I don't mess this up. I bought an extra piece just in case I did, and we'll go from there. All right, so here's what I've done. I went ahead and cut this out, so you can see it fits out nice in there. There is a huge gap on the other side, but I'm going to cross that bridge when I come to it, since I'm reusing the hatches. And I'm not remolding hatches out of this other stuff. So I've traced around. I'm gonna roll this into the gutter because I need this to be strong in case I don't need to flex or break or anything like that. So I'm gonna cut this out. This is the inner piece. Reuse this for the hatch. I've got my other piece over there for the other piece, for the other hatch, for the hatch piece, like I said. And then I'm gonna wet this out and put it down, and then it'll be panel number 2 for like this. So hopefully we get this done. I'll jump in the boat. I'm gonna finish the tabbing and stuff for that, and then we'll go from there.
He's the only one who gets to use his 3D printed mixers.
So what I've done is I've measured this stiffener to here, which is about 38.5. I'm gonna cut it right on this side of it, and then I am going to stick that on this floor panel. Now the reason we've done that is because the floor panel needs to sit flush with the top of the stringers and bulkheads, and if this was too long, it would sit on top of that and it would be a big bump in it. So cut this down, cut that down, and then from there, I'm gonna take this, big thick panels, and I'm gonna glass it into the sides here and here, and this panel will be very, very stiff. And I think that will be plenty enough to go ahead and throw this panel into one side if we need to after we gel coat, along with the other ones. So we're very close to putting this floor in. I think I'm not gonna rush to put the floor in because I also need to do these fish boxes and do the live wells and things like that. So once not fish boxes, the live wells. So once the fish boxes are done, live wells are done, we'll start to work our way forward to the next layer of the boat, which is gonna be the floor. So we'll put this in. Hopefully the phone doesn't fill up with storage. I'll try to time lapse it and we'll go from there. very itchy tomorrow. I don't like it. I like that much better. Good afternoon, boys and girls. Happy people, all those things. Back out of the boat. I've gotten a little bit done. So before I started filming, I was able to get this box completely fiberglassed in, as you can see, right there. So it is strong. Just lay down on top of it. And then what I'm going to end up doing is cutting this, cutting the hole here and then fiberglassing the Kusa down around it so I can put in the piece for that. And then I'm also going to end up putting the drain in this side today so that I can get the back wall put on with some more honeycomb. Honeycomb is easy to work with. I only have a little bit of Kusa left, you see over there, so I'm going to try to avoid ordering another sheet if I don't have to. I wanted to use the Kusa for the structural supports, which are all these. All the tabs that I put in to keep everything down are hardened. So the stringer system is now put in. Now we'll go back 3 layers of mat, or 3 layers of 1708, this stuff here, on each individual piece. And then I'm gonna put another, my very last thing I'll do is putting a stringer back here from about right here across, which will support the floor back here. The sides of the boat are going to support the floor. Well, this side here, let's see if I can get focus. This side here is going to support, and then this here is going to support the floor as we go across. And we'll have this big fish box in between. I don't plan on putting any sides to the fish box, just glass, and glassing it to the sides of the boat. I may end up going back and creating a little void to kind of insulate it, but that'll be for another day. Right now I want to get the floor glassed in and then curing. Everything under there is good. I didn't pour any more foam, but with the rigging tube and everything glassed and curing, I now can put this piece in. I've been going slow to make sure that it all works. If you don't have one, if you're doing this kind of work, if you don't have one of these electric scissors, I got mine from the freight because I needed it early. They sell them on Amazon. They sell a few different types. This is a great piece. Phenomenal. Highly suggest it. Don't go anywhere without it. It cuts nice clean lines on your fiberglass, and it's a lifesaver. So as you can see, my stringer systems are pretty solid. They'll be even more solid when I put a bunch more glass in there, and we'll continue it. So this is going to get more foam over here. That's all in the works for today. Planning factors and things. So get to it. I'm gonna get the music back on, and I'll check back in at the end of the day, and you'll be able to see exactly what I did. So have fun, and just like that, we have these stringers on this side glassed in, and the floor of the box initially glassed in. I'm about to die in this tarp, so I'm gonna let her go for today, and come back tomorrow, cut up some more glass, and lay another section in there. These big layups suck. They're very hard to do. So plenty of structure in there though. All the contact, everything's sealed up and glassed in, and there's probably a quarter-gallon resin in the whole thing. So we're good over here. These stringers, I'll do one more. Plan on doing one more layup in each one of these for this side, and then get focus, and then it'll come down this side too, back over. So after that, we'll be ready for drains and fills, and like I said, I might try to put some foam in there. I don't know. We'll see. So come along. These are killer days. The next day. All right. So as you can see here, we had a very good cure on the fish box, layer 1. I'm gonna get another layer in there, maybe today, depending if the baby stays sleeping. But I'm gonna try to get these in today and drying for tomorrow, because she's really coming together now, and I'm pretty excited. I have decided to drill a big hole in the middle and fill that with foam as soon as I cap off this end piece. So be doing that here soon, and then I'm gonna insulate the back here with another piece of foam from over there, and that way I will have a semi insulated fish box, because the sides won't be insulated obviously, but I might try to slide in some foam there, but we'll see. It's coming together. So we will be back in a minute and go from there. All right, quick day today. Only out here for about an hour and a half or so. So here's what we've done. We have finished tabbing in the box. So that's all she's gonna get. She got 2 layers around the edges, and I glassed in the Kusa piece for the through hole, or little screw-in deck plate. That way I can access the the rigging down there for the fuel pickup and the fuel sender, and that'll be accessible through the top of the hatch. And we've got all that put in. I built. It's easier now to walk over here. At least I can trust my tabbing in the sides, so that's all good. We're rocking and rolling. I'll let this set up, and then tomorrow, I didn't bring my tools out today because I was just going to do fiberglass. I'm going to cap these and throw in that foam that I need, so that we can fill the bottom up a little bit with some foam, get some supports in there. So it's all coming together. Another slow day. Not slow day really, but just a day out of the life of rebuilding a boat. I think that it's just coming along, you know, like there's not really much else you can do. Can't go any faster or any slower. The resin dries, I mean, I could go in here and probably, like if I had a full day today and my wife didn't just pass the real estate exam and everything and I needed to get home, I mean, I could probably glass in all this. If I had the tools, I could cut this and glass that in, cut that, glass that in, cut the hole, pour the foam, and then work my way up to where I would glass this piece in, which I'm gonna do to make that a bottom. And I'm gonna take a piece of that board and make a bottom there. And then this will be some sort of hatch. Even though it'll have this stuff accessible through a through hole, there'll be some sort of hatch here that I can get. And just their cast net down in there, or, you know, whatever down in there. But, I mean, now that it's all coming together and it's all working, I honestly think that I can start to plan, because it's not going to change very much. This side may change a tad bit, but no one will notice. Box will be the same size, hatch will be the same location, and everything like that. So this side will probably stay the same a little bit, but over here was like the trial run, and it came out really well. So with all these things, and you know, people were asking about the cap, and you know, because the cap creates structural strength as you come down. It's glassed in right here. So with this tabbed and, you know, fiberglassed in here, fiberglassed in here, fiberglassed in right here, going to be another fiberglass piece here, and then more fiberglass up here. The hole's not going to go anywhere. And then on top of that, 10 inches above this, the floor is going to be glassed in, you know, across the boat too, with large pieces of 1708. So the cap is going to be very rigid. And then on top of that, I'm going to build support sections for the cap that come from the floor to the cap for cap supports, cap rail supports. So I'm going to be able to run a lot of rigging and a lot of tubing and a lot of things through the floor and have the boat be just as structurally sound as if it had the cap on. I was sitting there last night, you know, thinking about, you know, at what I could have done differently, how I could have done easier myself. And then I was thinking, you know, maybe I didn't need to raise the floor up. I could have just cut this out. But then I thought to myself, no, because the cap here, this whole piece, I bet is a lot of, you know, if you were to look at the engineering designs, I bet there's a lot of structure here, back here, especially with the motors. So I'm glad that I didn't just cut this out and make this thing sweep all the way out the back. I'm glad that I kept that and I raised the floor. The other thing is, you know, if you look at my feet, the floor only came up about ankle high because this is 1/2-inch plywood. I mean, this is a substantial amount to the kick well, or to the forgot what that's called, but this piece, the cap rail. So you're going to be able to reach over this boat and get into the water and do your hands and everything a lot easier than you could before. And then this is just going to, I mean, look at that lineup, man. It's just going to go, and then no scuppers, clean deck right out the back. I'm going to have plenty of storage in the floor. The console is going to come to about here, so I'm going to probably cut one more piece to go across there to support the console. The front of the console is going to come there, so I have all that walk room up there. And then the back of the leaning post, I believe, comes to this. So console, leaning post right here above the tank, center of gravity. It's going to be great. Lots of walk around room. And then I'm going to have lots of storage, like small storage within these sections of Kusa. So nothing's going to really go here. Don't think foam's going to go in there. I was going to put foam, but I doubt I'm going to do that. It's just going to be drilled through and let it drain. But I'll probably have some floor drains, or one floor drain in there to where kind of something comes in. But I'm going to build that custom leaning post with the cooler stand and everything. Like, it's going to be great. I'm super pumped, super excited. It's coming along. All right, back here at the boat. So over the night, we had some rains and some water got in, but it's hard under there. It dried cloudy in some spots because of the water. So, but it dried because of the water. So Coos is in there, dried nice, cured good. This box is sturdy. You know, we have to do some more supports, which I've done today, because I'm capping off this to make this little hatch. So I put 2 pieces of the foam core together, and then I'm going to cover that with 1 piece of glass, and it's going to come down. It'll seal over here, and it's going to seal down, and that's going to seal the tank part right there, so no water can get in, and that's the big thing. So I'm trying to make it to where all the foam that's behind these 2 walls under this box cannot be gotten to by water. So the tanks, I'm confident in the tanks. Tanks have so much sealant on them and everything that, I mean, if they leak, then I gotta rip this whole boat apart, and that would be miserable. So they pressure tested, so hopefully they stay good, and we can go from there. I think I am going to get some foam for over here, and I think I am going to line this. I haven't decided yet, but I may, because I want to hide those knees in the box just to clean it up a little bit, and then bring this side out a little bit. So we'll see how it all goes. It would be a disservice not to, you know, do it right and finish it up right. So, but anyway, box is in. Today I'll have this finished. I'm going to cut the hole in here and fill that with foam, get this thing started, fill that back there, and then start on the floor piece. So don't know if gel coat's going to go in yet. It probably will. I don't see why I can't put finished wrap in that right there when I do the other piece, and then throw some gel coat on here after I cut that. I don't know, but we'll definitely see. I'm trying not to get ahead of myself, so I have to redo stuff or mess anything up. So if gel is the next step, I'm sure I'll come to that realization very quickly. So probably rambled on enough. Starting to get cramped in here. I'm going to start throwing trash away and putting everything back together, and peace out. All right, kind of a late day today, but here's what we got going on. So this is the box for the right hand side. So yesterday we got it all worked up to where this side of the boat is done. Now we're gonna move on this side. Well, it's not done. Still gotta do gel coat and everything else. But I'm gonna gel everything at the same time. So we're working on the fish box for this side. I've got that piece cut out. It's gonna go right there in the front, so right here. And then I have this piece of board that's going to be glassed in here with another stiffener on the bottom made of honeycomb, because that's what we have. And I'm out of Coosa, and I'm not gonna buy another $177 sheet. So, foam's in. We'll pour a little bit more. I've built, so what I didn't like about the other one was this piece didn't stay straight. So we're gonna glass these stiffeners in onto it so it stiffens the board up. Throw some more 1708 on the back, and then glass it all in at one time. We'll probably glass it down here, take it up to the boat, and put it in. So we built and glued all of these. So there's 4-inch here, this is a 6-inch here, and a 5-inch there to go in the middle. And then this will sit on that, giving me the slope that I had on the other side. So this part of the box should go in tomorrow. I don't have really much time. I probably could mix it today, but I want to, actually, you know what? I think I will mix a little bit, and I'm going to do the stiffeners, and then we will be able to glue the other stuff in tomorrow. But yeah, I can do that. And then be it for today. Not much fiberglassing, but a little bit. So watch this. All right. Camera died, but it is what it is. Show you what we got done, and then we'll head out. So we got the box in. We got the first two, so we got the edge there and the edge here. I still gotta do the edge over here. I'll do that tomorrow, and we'll have that box in. I gotta patch that. I forgot to do it before actually, you know what? I could probably do that before I leave, but I'll do that later on in a minute. But yeah, I'm gonna cut a piece that's gonna slide right in there, and basically it'll curve and slide right down in and be patched up right there. And then we got a little grinding to do. I'll shave these little tabs down and sand this stuff, but came out pretty good. Nice flat level. Get the stringer in. We got the that came out good right there. So when I cut the hole in that thing, we'll see how it works out. But hopefully that that rigging tube will be good, and then we'll be on our way. Never ending. All right, guys. So as of yesterday, I think we went off with, I cut that and put it in there. So there's a piece of this board in there. Fit the fiberglass there. That fiberglass is going to go there. I'm going to chip off this foam. Well, this foam here, chip all that out so that I can get it laid down. I'm going to grind down a little bit of this so that that fiberglass lays down nice and good. And then we are going to lay the fiberglass in. I built that bulkhead across there. We'll lay some of that fiberglass in as well. I'll get that cut, and then I have to go take the boys to football. So this video will not be terribly long because I only have about an hour to work on this thing. So I really want to get out from under this tarp. Man, I want to get this boat done. But steadily coming. You know, I've had lots of people ask me to help and things like that, and you know, I could have gotten help, but I'm gluten for punishment, so we're glutton for punishment. So just keep rocking and rolling with it. Go ahead and watch this, and I will go ahead and update at the end. throwing some foam in the fish box or in the coolers. Props to Buddy Joe. I'm just gonna line these and throw them in. They won't be insulated. I got this R value foam from Home Depot or Lowe's. The polyester resin melts it, so I had to buy some epoxy, but it wasn't a big deal. So right now I'm making templates out of this box, and then we are gluing them together with the good old Bauer glue gun, which I highly suggest and recommend. It's been great. And then we will probably just silicone them into the bottom after we scrape it up, clean it up, and then I'll lay bead of thickened epoxy around the sheets as they lay on the top. Lay a bead of thickened epoxy or thickened silicone or something like that. Glue it all in, and then I'll lay down matte with epoxy on it so that this stuff has a fiberglass core to go to, and then I'll lay layers of Biax 1708 and polyester resin to make the actual box structural, and then the lid and everything will go on top and the floor. So just keep on rolling. Alright, so what I did today, I got the fish boxes done. I went and got more foam from Home Depot. As you can see, I put it all in and then filled the gaps with some spare foam that I had. I still have quite a bit in there. This box, a little rougher cut, but all it's there to do is provide some insulation. I'll get some more foam, put it in the little pieces, and fine tune it as soon as I start trimming it up for the floor. This will get two pieces, or a piece of chop strand on the bottom, and then it'll get a few pieces of biaxial cloth to kind of make the mold good, and it'll be with epoxy. So go ahead and watch